Moving on, MJT. Did Jews think Daniel 9 predicted the Messiah's death? That's an interesting question. By the way, I just want to give you a heads up. I think we got like 12 more questions after this. So I don't know if there's a way to answer them in some swift way or whatnot, but I always want...
It's fine. I'm a night person. It's fine. So the answer is no, but I'm going to blow your mind away. So Daniel 9, it's nothing to do with the date of when the Messiah will be killed. And I know it says the Messiah will be cut off. You know, not a Messiah. I know that. I know what your Christian Bibles did with that. Okay? But if you ask, so you have a chapter, Daniel 9, has 27 verses. And the problem, my friends, is that I'm sure there are Christians here, and that Christians really know Daniel 9, verse 24, 25, 26, and 27. But if I ask you what's in Daniel chapter 9, verse, I don't know, verse 7, what is in Daniel 9, verse 1? Like, and why is it important that it's in the first year of Darius the Mede? Like, why is that relevant? And why is Daniel trying to figure out the calculations of Jeremiah germane to anything? And I'm going to say this, please don't be angry at me. You Christians have no idea. Not because you're bad people. It's because the church robbed you of this knowledge. Now I'm going to take this step. I'm going to amp this up. I'm going to charge it up. I'm going to tighten it up. Not only is this ridiculous theological machination something that Christians today subscribe to, and no Jews thought that because it's not there. I have chapters in my books on this. But even the first century Christians never thought of this. What?
So Daniel in chapter 9 gives us exactly the year when Mashiach is going to come.
But you're saying that the prophet Daniel, who lived 2,500 years ago, he lived during the Babylonian exile, foretold the precise date that he would be cut off, that he would be executed, the Messiah would be killed. You know how important that is? You know what a fantastic claim that is? You're saying that we are told by Daniel, who's a holy man, the exact, actually Daniel isn't speaking, the angel Gabriel is speaking, just for context, but it's recorded in the book of Daniel, that the exact moment of when the Messiah is supposed to be killed is recorded in the Jewish Bible. I have a question for you. I grant everything. I want you to answer one question. I want to ask you a question from heart to heart. I'm not chas v'shalom. I don't try to catch you. I'm trying my best to be as honest as you would expect me to be. I want to ask you this question. If this is the case, but think before you answer, we have 27 books in the New Testament. Why, if this is the case, now I would posit to you this was a later Christian invention, but here's the question. If this was not a later Christian invention, I use the word Christian, just give me a free pass on that one, okay? Why isn't this quoted anywhere in the Christian Bible? That means, in order for you to believe that there's a clear prophecy in Daniel 9 of exactly the date, the year the Messiah is supposed to kill, are you telling me that the authors of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all the letters of Paul, the letters of John, the letters of Peter, whatever you accept, none of them thought that point was important enough to mention the New Testament? Does any sane, sober mind believe this? That means, I hope you got this point. It's not quoted in the Christian Bible. Then in order for you, sweetheart, listen to me. In order for a person to believe that the Jews are wrong and the believers in Yeshua are right, okay, I did it. You have to believe that not one writer or apostolic father, that means Clement I of Rome, it's Daniel 9, meaning the text from verse 24 and 25, 24, 25, 26, and 7 is never quoted in the Christian Bible. They just went, yeah, we do have the exact calculation of Jesus' death, but there are more important things than that. I will say this to you, my brother. If you can accept such thing, you're not being honest with yourself. You cannot believe that no first century Christian thought that would have been important enough to point out. Okay? You can't, and if you can come up with an answer to that question, you will be the first person who believes what you believe can believe that. No sane mind can believe that the authors of the New Testament, whoever they were, believed that Daniel 9 had such a prophecy, or else they would have quoted it. Now, do you know that the supposed calculation that the Messiah is going to be killed after 490 years, which is 70 weeks, that calculation is never quoted in the Christian Bible? Do you know that? I'll bet you know. You know how insane that is? I mean, if you're a Christian, please think about this. This is what you're going to have to believe. You're going to have to believe that anybody thought that Daniel 9 predicted when the Messiah would be killed, and we have a precise date for it. And that Paul, the author of Hebrews, Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, I went in chronological order, they were aware of this. And they just didn't think that was important enough to mention. Do you know how much propofol you have to ingest to believe that? This is a later invention. This is a 2nd century invention of the church. They completely molested the 9th chapter of Daniel. It has nothing to do with that. Daniel 9 is a prediction made by the angel Gabriel to Daniel in a response to his plea to understand a calculation of Jeremiah. Read it for yourself, and conveys to him the length of time, the span of time between the destruction of the first temple, destruction of the second temple, and an anointed one who was a prince who would give the command to rebuild Jerusalem and to rebuild the temple. There's only one person who's a Messiah like that, and that's Cyrus. See Isaiah 44, verse 28, and the really important one, Isaiah 45, verse 1. Cyrus, my Messiah, who gave the command to rebuild Jerusalem and the temple. There it is. Cyrus, not Jesus. I didn't put it. And please, don't use a Jewish Bible for this. Use your Christian Bible. Use your King James Bible. Use your Catholic Bible. Use any Bible you want. See Isaiah 45, verse 1. You know, there were Trump supporters who thought that Trump was kind of a Cyrus figure, and that's why Trump was the 45th president. And the idea that Cyrus, who tells the Jews, go back and build Jerusalem, and then Trump goes and moves the embassy, the American embassy, to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, and therefore Trump, number 45, fulfills Isaiah 45. I'm not kidding. So this is completely absurd. So not only didn't the Jews think this, the Christians didn't think of it. This is a later invention, and therefore it never even made it into the New Testament. Bingo.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ועת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא